You had one job. You had one job to hit one button,
And I did it. We're
and you
live.
did it. All right.
Happy Carpets and Coffee on a Friday, the 3rd of May in the year 2024. How's it going? Owen McIntyre.
Like Anno Domini, like where are you going with this? Like just yes, carpets and coffee on a Friday,
Wow,
and I am
Friday.
Owen McIntyre. Yeah, yeah.
This doesn't have an intro.
No, there's no intros. Yeah.
Here, I'll do my
It's just-
Eric impression.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm pressing the button. What is up?
You have to put your
Carpets and
glasses.
Coffee.
You have to put your glasses on, like okay, yeah.
Number
there we
92.
Go. Yep. Is it 92?
I need some water.
It's water. All right, water. Don't you start that? Okay. We speak English. I don't know what the hell else you do. So.
Well, people, today Eric is not here. You do have Owen and I, which should be familiar, and then we also have whatever the hell that was.
That one. I mean,
we got that.
It's only an audio medium, and now we fuck that. Yeah.
In addition to that, we have my good friend, my partner, Mr. Alex Blanchard. What's up, Alex?
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah. So
Baby's first podcast.
Baby's first podcast. Baby's first reptile show. Baby's first podcast. Doing a lot of firsts right now. I mean,
big month.
Yeah, you guys got a lot. Yeah. So
yeah. Introduce. Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying Eric's out crushing it because I don't know if you've been keeping up with.
Oh, it's annoying.
I hate him. You know, he's like, oh, tripped over another rattlesnake. I'm you son of a bitch. Like
his like stream of messages is literally like iNaturalist because they're finding fucking everything. San Diego.
Yeah. And they're all finding good ones too. It's not like here's a one-eyed rattlesnake that like limped away across. Like, yeah, this is a pristine, gorgeous animal on beautiful terrain. It's like, you bastards.
Yeah. So. A lot of pyros.
Yeah.
Ruber, the red diamond rattlesnake.
Yeah.
That eluded me when I was down there.
I saw pyro the other day and I was kind of like, I wonder when this is from, but I didn't realize it was like real
like
time.
right now. Yeah. It's happening now. Yep.
He's on our side of the country. I sense him. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, that's gonna.
Yeah. So Alex, introduce yourself and the critter
you...
behind you who might talk as much as all three of us combined today.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is my very annoying climbing toad, or one of them at least. Yeah, I'm Alex. Indigo
Hi, Alex.
Lucas has said a lot of. Lucas has mentioned your name a lot and other things like that. So it's usually along the lines of Alex is doing this, and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, that's good job. So
that's about right. Yeah.
Yep.
So tell the people how'd you get involved in this whole thing? What's your animal history?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Well, where do I start? That's complicated.
The beginning.
The beginning. Okay,
yeah,
so my parents met in the 90s.
A little too far.
No, let him cook. It's not too far.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
So my dad used to work at the East Bay Vivarium.
Okay.
30 years ago. And one day my mom came in with her friend who had a MBD riddled iguana because Vitalites were barely a thing and iguanas were a dime a dozen. So my dad helped her and her friends with this green iguana, and the rest is history. But yeah, so essentially I've had like reptiles around my whole life, but I never really had like my own relationship with them, or I wasn't like super fascinated with them when I was like growing up because they were just around. Yeah, I think you get that where it's like, oh, it's right there. Like my dad had a pair of rosy boas, a pair of desert iguanas when that was, a thing. And a couple other things, like when I was first born, their garage was full of colubrids. Like there's king snakes and milk snakes and pink toe tarantulas, just all the bread and butter that the vivarium at the time. And so yeah, like a lot of kids, my dad was into it. So therefore I wasn't that fascinated because it was just normal. And then
and dads are lame.
Dads are lame, and what they're interested sucks. Yeah.
My dad likes that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a very normal thing. And then one year I was traveling a lot, and in between traveling, my dad was like, "Hey, you fucking need to get a job." as 20-year-olds do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, all right, like I'm thinking about, spending the summer in Hawaii or something. I don't know. He's like, no, you need to get a job. And he told me in the past that John Emberton at the Vivarium would hire me like whenever. So I went in for like a thrown together interview with the manager at the time. It was the craziest job interview I've ever had in my life, and probably will ever have. And,
craziest interview, craziest job.
Yep.
Yeah, craziest place. And that place has definitely impacted my life in a great way, obviously. It probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Vivarium. So
Conceived on the sales room floor.
I really hope not, but
I'm
joking.
Yeah, I don't
know why you had to go there. Why, Lucas?
It's Carpets and Coffee. We go until everybody cringes.
Oh my God.
That is not true. We don't have to. We don't have to do that. You like to do that. So yeah.
And the people keep coming back.
But
it's whatever.
But yeah, I was supposed to work for the summer, and obviously never left. I worked there for like 5.5 years, I believe. Lucas, you started working a few months after me?
Yeah. So we met at the Vivarium in 2019. A couple green keepers with dreams of reptile glory. And yeah, I left. I fucked off. And then you kept doing great. You became the manager. You were the manager there for a number of years. And that's pretty cool. So
yeah, I learned a lot. I need to unlearn some things, but I definitely learned working there on the fly. John is a savant of sorts with reptiles, with animals in general. He just has just an understanding of the animals. He's just seen so many and been around so many that just he has wisdom that you couldn't really impart on someone if you tried. But
that's for sure.
It was a crazy 5 years. I met Lucas, one of my best friends in Austin, and it's definitely changed my life. I think it's crazy that I found my way back there after my dad worked there and my parents met there. It's
like a baby sea turtle. You return to the beach of your
good.
Yeah.
And then obviously, working there, you get to cherry pick and you get to, cream of the crop. And so I'm like,
you can find the loudest toad.
Yeah, the loudest of all toads. Yeah.
That toad, my friend brought it in to sell, didn't even make it on the sales floor. I saw it, sent photos to Gabi, and I was like, we should get this, right?
It needs a female, apparently, is what it just keeps saying.
No,
so,
there's one in there. There's one in
then
there.
it needs to pay attention to him, is what's happening here.
Hey.
What's up? Yeah. Hi.
But, yeah, awesome. So as you can see, a little bit of everything: toads, snakes. I've had turtles. I've made a stop on almost every type of reptile.
I feel like that is important when getting into reptiles or getting your feet wet, is to make the stops, because then you know which ones are good and which ones you like and which ones you're like, this seemed intriguing, and then you get it and you're like, this thing sucks, and then you're like
aquatic turtles.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Aquatic turtles, that's awesome. They're just a lot of work.
Yeah, that's the thing. If that's your interest, good for you. But don't be offended when other people are like, no, no, and they get a faraway look in their eye because they've seen some things or done some things. So
yeah.
So
we'll get into all the animal stuff a little bit deeper later. But Carpets and Coffee, that's where we're at. Important question. I know what I'm drinking. I'm drinking cold-blooded caffeine Carpets and Coffee blend. This is a full fresh bag. Because I made an order. And I
drank mine this morning, which was because it is 7:00 at night, so I've moved to a more of an adult beverage. But yes, I did have that this morning.
Absolutely. Alex, you like coffee?
Yes, but I drink lattes and espresso, so
that's fine. It's still coffee. Yeah,
I do drink a lot of coffee. It's does not work as well.
It's weird. I didn't get into drinking coffee until I was in my later 20s, and I'm like, how the hell did I get through college? Like, how did I live through college without doing this? So yeah, it would have been so much easier. So yeah.
It's the vivarium for me. I had to work like it's like shifts for a regular employee were like 9.5 hours, and so like your opening and closing, it's like a 10-hour shift. It's like a ridiculously long time to be on your feet interfacing with people who want to buy animals and not take care of them. But yeah, that's when I started drinking energy drinks, and ever since then I've had like a crazy caffeine dependency. And
well, you went from like liquid cocaine down to like the lesser stuff. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm
or
working
both.
on it.
Yeah, or both.
Or both.
Simultaneous.
Yeah.
I just drank a yerba, so yeah.
Well, I've made you a cup of cold-blooded caffeine beans before, and so you I know you've had it. So you know what's good.
As soon as I run out of this blue bottle, I'm gonna order some cold-blooded caffeine just to support.
Good.
Cool
Blue
test.
Bottle does not donate to conservation funds.
So there is an upside to Lucas being very close. Is he will like eventually you just make you coffee and show up with it? That's nice.
All right, I'll just gush for a minute. So
Okay.
I can't walk into Lucas's house without being offered something. It's like
You want an Aki? You want a lick Paula Garter?
I feel comfortable saying this, but the most Asian thing about Lucas is that he's like, "Oh, have you eaten? We're making this. Do you want a plate?" Like, no matter what. Like, we just did some stuff on Morph Market and sent some emails, and he gave me kumquats and garlic peanuts. And then yesterday it was chicken satay, and the day before that it was probably beignet. It's literally every day. So there's many upsides to living next to Lucas.
Yeah.
He's skinny. We need to help him out.
Stop it. He's fine. What? Like you just became my Italian grandmother. Like what's going on here?
Owen, sweetie.
No,
no. Stop it. Anyway.
Oh.
All right. So I did see that you guys. So the show you guys just did, that was your first reptile show together, or did you guys? Because I know the Vivarium must do reptile shows. So
I can say that as an employee there, I was holding down the fort at the shop during all shows. No, not really. John, the owner, takes care of all those and tends to have one helper monkey, but I was never said monkey. Alex, were you ever said monkey?
No, somebody's got to babysit the store. If he's
Yeah, so
2 or 3 years I worked every weekend in a row, so
yeah, it's not going to happen.
Take a day off and go be at the reptile show in Lodi.
Yeah, that would kind of be weird. Yeah. Okay.
So it was baby's first reptile show. We vended the Sacramento Reptile Expo, which is one of the larger shows here in Northern California. Not quite as big as the super shows that we get in Southern California, but yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, we saw Lisa there with the NorCal Herp Society. Shout out Lisa in the chat. And it was cool. I know you do a ton of shows. Oh, and
I wouldn't say a ton, but I every other month usually now at this point I have a show. So,
and you had just done Hamburg recently, right?
Hamburg. What month are we in?
Which one did you do like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, so there's a February Hamburg, and then they skipped March, so there was an April Hamburg. So that was that, and then tomorrow is Oaks, but I'm not vending it. I'm just going, raising all kinds of hell, and then leaving, which is my favorite thing to do.
More fun.
Oh, it is. It is so much more fun. You just tend to walk in and pretend like you're there for like setting up a table, run around, get first pick, grab your rodents, go. So
nice.
We should do that.
Oh yeah. Do it. If you do them enough, people just assume they see you places, so you can just walk around freely. So, but all right. So you guys got the table, you got the setup, or was it like kind of like a cap situation, like one table, or did you have to buy multiples?
Well, so I think before we get into it, we should probably explain we were not vending as Centralian Exotics. We were vending as Indigo Vivaria, which Alex, do you feel what Indigo is for the people?
It's a color.
Yeah, of course.
It's a color.
Yes, it is a color.
The color, not the snake.
Yeah, got it.
But someday also the snake. But yeah, so Indigo Vivaria is me, Lucas, and a friend Austin's side business or small business. The three of us obviously are very immersed in reptiles and herpetoculture, so we're trying to find our way and make it so that we can just do this full time someday. And I think that's the dream for most of us. And a thing that we saw working at the vivarium is that there aren't a lot of cage builders on the West Coast. There's a lot of great companies popping up, and there are a few existing companies that are doing good jobs like meet demand, but I do think that there is room for more. And our idea is that as the reptile hobby grows, people are going to get to a point where they treat it more like the aquarium hobby, like saltwater. And I think that planted tanks and displays are going to be more common, and it's just going to be more commonplace, whether it's a business or your living room or an office space. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger. And so we're hoping that we can position ourselves in a way that people will come to us for like a luxury build, something a little bit higher end for their living room, or their bedroom, something that's a little more eye grabbing than, let's say, PVC. And so we've been making cages for the last year, and we stumbled upon bamboo because me and Lucas are obsessed with Argentine boas, and we follow this nice man named Bob Guerrero, and he's had these bamboo cages for ages, and they've held up. And so we looked into that, and bamboo is surprisingly not much more expensive than good plywood is right now, which is that's how expensive wood is. And bamboo is really, really weather resistant. It's resistant to bugs. It's sturdy. It's strong as hell. And
do you know it's a grass?
Yeah, it's not wood.
Not wood.
Yeah. But we've been making cages for ourselves and trying to make them for friends to kind of get the ball rolling, because we have a lot of big ideas, or I have a lot of big ideas, and Lucas and Austin have to try and help me.
I have like 2 ideas.
Well, the Lucas is now all of a sudden involved in like 4 different reptile companies, and he's just dancing between them. And it's Lucas, like, well, what's going on here? He's got his own. He's got Indigo. Keeps popping into NPR. Yeah,
I can't do
busiest man I know.
One thing.
Apparently not.
You will shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Indigo, exactly. We're building them by hand in Oakland, one at a time, filling them with love. And we brought a beautiful stack of cages up to Sacramento to show the people what we've got going on.
Very cool. And I do always say people, like, if you're looking for a cage, buy it. And if it's built and ready at the show, buy it there, because here it is. And now I can take it home. Like it's the people who were like, I don't know why it's taking so long for my cage to be built.
Yeah.
If you see one at the show that's in the right dimensions and right there, grab it.
That's crazy you said that, because when me and Lucas were first thinking about this, we're like, wow, everybody's like got a 6-week lead time. 12, fucking 18-week lead time. Like,
6, 12, 4 months. I mean, there are some that it's like, oh, you ordered a cage in July?
Indigo, I never heard of you, but if you got it right now, buy one. Like,
So cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so we also had some animals on the table. It was pretty cool. I was wheeling and dealing. Came home with a few new additions.
Yeah, that's the downside, is that you're supposed to go and get rid of the animals, not come home with more animals than you went to the show.
I think we did okay. We came home with less animals.
Yeah, it was net negative.
Okay.
Also, I mean, we can let the people know this was a team effort. We were slinging some quality rogue reptiles at the Indigo Vivaria table.
Yeah.
I sold more rogue animals than Centralian animals. So pat yourself on the back, bearded one.
Yeah. Well, I locked their parents in a box. Well, my question would be, like, were people questioning that, like wondering how the hell you were working? I guess I didn't send you with anything like too weird, right? Like it wasn't like Madagascar hognose or
when I
roughies.
sold the Northern Pine, there was no interest in where it had come from.
No,
and
no
then,
one cared.
like, in terms of the carpet pythons, I was like, yeah, it's my bestie Owen, you know. And they're like, oh,
The
cool,
pine,
from
they're
the
like,
podcast.
I don't give a shit where it came from. Give me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
cool.
you have obviously a great website, so I was able to show parent pictures if anybody needed them, and then you know, what more do they need?
That's usually all it is that people need to know mom, dad, and see a picture, and that's usually good. For the most part, it's when apparently now you're getting into some. We were talking before the show about Max Pink and stuff like that, where they're like third generation. It's like, God damn it, now I have to keep like pictures 3 generations back. Like, all right, but I guess if you're wheeling in certain morphs or certain colors, people want to see multiple generations back. If it's just kind of one thing, I don't think they want to go too far. So
yeah, totally, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. It's interesting though, you kind of see like the trends of the hobby in real time when you go to a show. You know, I definitely was trying to chat with as many other vendors as I could. You know, what are you getting interested in? What are the people biting on? And so, you know, in the case of Sacramento, it seemed like it was a really colubrid heavy show. There didn't seem to be a lot of pythons flying. You know, how does that stack up to what you were seeing on the East Coast?
On the East Coast, it's anything goes. Like there was one show where there was a lot of colubrid stuff. Like I went and I sold every single Mad Hog I brought with me. Then the show after that, the Mad Hogs sat, and the Mad Hogs have sat since. But the last show I did in February, it was like white lips, olives, carpets, false water cobra. It was all that stuff was going. Nice. And this past show, it was a false water cobra and a stonewash breadlie.
Okay.
So it's like that kind of stuff. So it really just depends on who's coming in and what the customer is,
right,
and what they're looking for. And maybe I got it, maybe I don't. So
at our SAC show, we had Snake Discovery in the house this year. They were posted up. They were doing meet and greets. They were kind of the headliner of the show. And I do think that they brought in a lot of their fans, and they're a really like colubrid centric channel, you know, breeding their hogs and their bulls and garter colonies. And I do think that might have had a hand in kind of what was hot, which was cool. I got to meet Emily, shook her hand, chatted with her for a little bit.
It's
really nice people.
They are. And it's funny when my nephew watches them, and then he's like, I open up the Mad Hogs and he goes, like Snake Discovery. I'm like, no. Like they're like me. Like, no. No.
Not the same.
Not the same. Me. I'm your uncle, you snot nose. Like, so yeah, that was, but it's cool to have that kind of stuff. And you're right. Sometimes if it always used to be that way kind of with, I guess the older shows is like, Tinley used to pick a species to focus on, and it seems like there'd be a bunch of fans of that species at that show. It was like, oh, this is a gecko show or whatever. And you know, it kind of seems like those things are kind of happening off on their own as opposed to being done at a show. Like there's going to be that colubrid fest, whatever it is, and there's going to be shows associated with that.
Well, you're going to be there, right?
I don't know.
You're a colubrid guy.
I mean, I dabble in many things. I'm a man of many hats. You know, come now. But that's the thing where it's like some people would go there just for this stuff, and we'll see how it goes. My wife and I made plans. We're going to go to Daytona this year. We're not vending.
Ooh.
I'm just going, and I'm going to wander around, and I'm going to go to every table and be like, "What snake is this? What snake is this? What snake is this?
Can I keep it like
a python is that? I'm going to see how many people I can piss off with my questions." So,
well, you're just going to be a hit.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Or you're going to get hit.
Rogue shirt. Yeah.
What you should do? I don't know if you've seen the other expo YouTubers will go to like a sneaker show and they'll be like, "How much for the whole table?" You go up to people and be like, "How much for the whole table?" How much for the whole table? And
that or just that or just like walk up and be like, these are amazing, and then turn my back with my phone, like, isn't this awesome? Like, yeah, it's
600 likes and I'll get one.
Yeah, what's up? It's Owen. Yeah, no, I'd kill myself. So
it's your boy Rogue.
Yeah. So have you guys having done a show now? Is there some quick hitter? Like, because when I did my first one, there were several things that I learned very quickly that I needed to not do, needed to do. Like, was there anything that stuck out as the we'll never do that again or must add this to list?
That's a good one.
I have. Well, so bringing cages,
bringing cages,
500-pound cages is a lot of work. So having how you're going to pack them mapped out is very helpful. 100 square feet is a lot smaller than it is in your head or in your living room.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know, pack food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That big mistake. Thank you, Alex. Biggest disappointment. Not even
Lucas didn't have food to offer people.
No,
like, he wasn't able to try to feed the people. No.
Okay. He found a way. He kept bringing. He made me eat multiple times.
I found a way. But herein lies the problem. I was relegated to the food truck row. I couldn't leave. And so I think I bought
20 tacos.
Probably like 5 plates of carnitas street tacos. And it probably cost like $150. Like, it's just insane.
How are your internal organs doing there, buddy?
Good now.
Okay.
But you got to understand. That I had the tacos was the safe choice.
I agree, because I had set up at a Hamburg show, and it was maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, and they had just started making some of the lunch food, and I hadn't eaten anything, and I had way too much coffee, so I was jittery. So I went and I got a thing of chicken fingers, and I bit down on one of the chicken fingers, and one of my teeth exploded.
Oh, God.
Like just shattered. So here I am, 10 a.m. The show has just started really going, and I'm like, it's going to be a fun day. And it was. It was a fun day full of pain, and people coming up being like, can I keep this in the same cage as my ball python? No. Like, just go the fuck. No. Yeah. So
was there a bone in there or something?
I don't know. Didn't ask. Haven't eaten the chicken fingers at a Hamburg show since.
Fair.
Was a little afraid of the answer. Like, didn't really want to get into it.
Well, like, I wasn't going to be able to survive on like the multi-topping hot dog stand. Like, I wasn't going to do chili cheese dogs for a weekend. So the tacos kept me alive, but definitely bring food, healthy food that doesn't cost $16 a plate.
Yeah.
I just saw the chat on the right.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, Alex.
Following up.
What's
up?
Some
people were saying hello to you.
Hi, and then Alex, these cages are some random PVC cages that John gave me for 1 Indigo. As ironic as it is, I got 6. Lucas got 2. They cost exactly 1 female.
1 Indigo. Exactly 1 Indigo. Yeah.
Don't have a brand or a price for you, so
yeah,
love to be helpful.
They're nice. They're nice cages.
I got a brand for you, IndigoVivaria.com.
I mean,
yeah, very good. Let's see. I felt really good about our setup. I think that we were able to put together a booth that was true to Alex's vision, which was like more of an open floor plan exhibition style thing. Like, we didn't want people to be behind the table looking in. We wanted them to be in the space with us,
which I like those.
Yeah, come in, stay a while. We had a bench, like, read a magazine.
When you go to the big shows like Tinley, there are people that have bought like an end cap, and what they've done is, instead of having the table set up where it's like table, table. They take this one and throw it in the back. So pretty much it's a U shape instead of like an N. So now you can come in and walk around and they stand in the middle and they talk to you.
Nice.
And then I think the best one I've seen is Garrett Hartle with Reach Out Reptiles. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah. I don't know why I blanked
Little
on that.
retics.
I'm sorry.
Midget retics.
Mini retics. Yeah, toy retics. He has his thing, and it's basically the setup where he's got the retics, and then he's got stuff all along the side. So it's just nothing but an open thing.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was cool.
Nice.
So,
have you seen how Tamura does their booth?
What was it?
Tamura Design.
Is he okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. So Tamura Design, I've never heard of them. I've never seen them. They might be a West Coast thing.
I should
If
know
I
where they're
knew-
located, but
If I knew how to share the screen, I'd throw it up
Do
there.
that?
But that's Eric only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only Eric has that technology and that power. For a while there was Rare Earth, right? They did Ackies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They literally had a fake like mountain, like a rock insert thing. They would set it up to where you would walk up and you'd peer through the little window, almost like at a zoo, and you'd see the tank that was up against it, and inside would be the Ackies and whatever else they did. So, but it was they had to get there at like 5 a.m. and start setting up quickly. And sometimes maybe even the night before. Like it was not and then they were like turning off the lights for the people who owned the venue because they were not the last one, they were not the first ones out the door either. So but that was their thing.
That's cool.
It was an eye catcher. So
yeah,
I mean, you got to
appreciate
stand
that.
out.
Yeah.
I think I've seen lately now is people have these giant cages on wheels that have glass in them so that they can wheel it in. So now they don't have a table. They have a giant display cage with like a couple retics or a boa or something in there. So
I
I've
think
seen
that's
that. Yeah. There's a lot of ways you can do it. You know, you can set yourself on fire and that'll draw attention to your thing too.
I would be lying if I said that we didn't have a focus group session where we talked about how we could get some positive PR through some sort of public stunt.
What was thrown out there? I'm curious now. What were some of the options here?
Nothing for public radio. No.
You just get bit by a snake and there'll be a blood pack and the blood pack.
What is wrong with you?
There's a lot of stuff. It's only a 2-hour podcast. I
I have
can't
a
answer
lot
that.
of ideas. Not all of them are good.
Good. There's a couple times that somebody needs to reel me back in. Got it. Okay.
That is Lucas's main job, to respectfully tell me that I am being insane, and he doesn't really because I can be sensitive.
I end up having to be, my job is bring Eric crashing back to earth every once in a while, and I feel bad when I do it because it's like kicking a puppy, but you know, every once in a while. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would say too, one thing that absolutely held true. I know I've heard you and Eric talk a million times about do not underestimate or neglect the book table at a reptile show. That was true absolutely for Sacramento. There was a table that was actually selling the late great Doug Price's book collection. And I was able to snag 2 copies of the Blue Bible signed by Dr. Ross.
Oh, okay.
And I got you, my Ruffy obsessed friend,
I am a
couple books on the Kimberly, one of which was purchased
in
on Pod Street in Alice Springs. So must be on one of Doug's adventures. So
that's the other thing too, is like when Eric went over to Australia, he's looking at the books and I'm like, t-shirts. And now I'm like, you know, it'd be easier to get the damn book and throw it in the brief. Like, okay, I understand it now. So yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
And aside from that, is there any animals that caught either of your eye of something that you're like, will add, must add, did add?
Yes. Satanic leaf-tail geckos.
Oh,
really? Why satanic leaf-tail geckos?
even before I knew anything about reptiles, I saw one. I was like, that's a ridiculous looking animal. That looks
They are.
like
Yes.
somebody drew it and then fucking they're like, all right, we're gonna make this as metal as possible.
Yeah.
I talked to a couple of the breeders and I really want them, but I'm trying to steer my collection in a lower maintenance direction. So geckos that need to be sprayed twice a day and overheat above 77 don't
Probably not a good idea. Yeah.
Like I have newts, so the temperature thing isn't a huge deal, but even the newts are going to withstand that a little bit better than these geckos, apparently. So
Yeah.
I would like them, but maybe not right now.
Okay.
A couple of the animals there were like bright red and had that like turquoise teal flecking throughout the animal. They're stunning.
Awesome. That you don't see them that often, so I like the idea of them becoming more popular.
There were 2 tables, and
No way.
Each table had over 6, maybe 10, and so like in total, you could have bought like a colony of like 15 to 20 satanic, which was very hard because like I kept coming back to the table and being like, "Hey, I don't need satanics, right?" Like,
yeah.
After I tried trading him some garbage he doesn't want, and then be like, "I don't need these, right?"
Walking over to the person who's selling them and being like, "I don't need these, right?" Like the answer is always going to be, "You might though." I mean, You sure? Because I have them. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. And then so that's a really like singular and sane answer from Alex. Me, on the other hand, I was running around like a freaking moron, wheeling and dealing, falling in love with every table as I do. And I came home with 1, 2, 3, 3 new species.
Jesus Christ.
Man can't be stopped.
No, but the thing is that if we sit down and look at Lucas's collection at the beginning of the year,
yes,
it has gone through many different phases. And I know that because several of the animals that were with him are here. So it's
scrub pythons didn't fit the bill.
Apparently not.
Scrub pythons did not fit the bill. And you know what is kind of the opposite of a scrub python?
The turtle.
A centralian knobtail gecko, baby.
That
come on.
No.
Come on.
No. How?
Okay, so
How?
scrub.
How?
Big.
Uh-huh.
Toothy, dangerous.
Uh-huh.
Monkey.
Unpleasant.
Never.
Has no limbs. Like, okay, yeah.
Yes. Centralian knobtail. Small.
Yep.
Cute.
Scrub python.
Non-threatening.
Yeah.
Knobtail screams at you.
Yeah. They did. It does kind of go like, which I like a lot.
It's a small living Pokemon that screams at you, and you're obsessed with it.
Dude, I think Alex is asking what happened to your Blackthroat monitor, Lucas.
This is a great question.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Oh, when this fool bought a fucking 6-foot monitor.
I had forgotten,
I was like,
but now I am remembering this. Yeah.
His name was Nelson, and I target trained him in 3 days.
Stop it! And it's not target training.
He gave me the look. He just gave me the look, you know.
He gave me the look. Pick me. Anyway, so yes, the decisions I make are all very wise and grounded in Lucas math. So Centralian knobtail, very exciting. I mean,
and it's finally a new edition that fits the name of your goddamn
That's what I'm
company.
saying. Every time you say something about Aspidites, I could say I have 2 Centralian species.
He's been talking about knobtails for
He has been. Yeah.
Okay. So there was a really great selection available.
One?
I got one.
You need multiples to breed, right?
Oh, we tried.
What?
Oh, okay. At least 2. I'm told. There's a book back here that might say that.
There was a fantastic assortment on Gecko's Etc's table. They probably had 11 or 12 of the AMA for sale.
And you're only able to escape with 1.
Well, I mean, the thing is, right, like I'm still poor.
That is, there is that. Okay.
And
They wouldn't
the sex
accept
females
trades.
are at like $1,000. So the one that I
Oof.
acquired is not yet sex. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's a girl. And I am going to be receiving a male or two from the good doctor, which
How
is
does
very
one
exciting.
are these one of the ones that you can check by like shining a light, or is it like bumps? Or are we probing?
Based on the articles that I have been able to find and talking to Justin, it sounds like it's mostly eyeballing the hemipenal bulge when they're old enough.
Okay.
Maybe some people can do a candling thing. That's not me. But yeah. So when they're like grown, it seems really obvious. But
Okay. But she's not
yeah.
grown yet.
Not yet,
Okay.
but I'm excited. So I got those. And
Okay.
then I got a pair of Pyros, Arizona Mountain Kings.
Like when you get tired of those, you send those here. Okay.
Copy.
Thank you.
I don't know that I will though, because
But,
I really like them.
listen, I'm just hedging my bet. Okay, you're just putting it out
They
there.
are banded dirt snakes that think everything is food and eat snakes. You think I'm gonna get rid of them?
Yes.
You son of a bitch.
Mm.
I think they're right up my alley.
Listen, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a year.
Can we start doing like an odds on what Lucas is going to keep?
I'll have a chart behind me to see which ones it goes. Yeah,
it's super rude, but I'm always like, how long are you going to have these Agurnia for, man? Like,
the Agurnia are great.
The Agurnia are great. You were so in love with the Ackies, and then they went away, but now they're back again, right?
Well, let's talk about the
That
Ackies.
one.
No, they're gone.
I'll bet on that one too.
I love the Ackies. The Ackies that I had were Alex's. They weren't even mine.
Right. True. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I shouldn't clown you too much for that because that is
it was
the shit out of them. So good job, good on you. Oh my god, yeah. The Ackies, yeah. I mean, it's probably fine. He'll spend like $600 a year on crickets and then sell them each for $100, and then he'll fucking move on to something else.
Move on to the next one. Yeah. Bounce on to the next one. What came out of left field for me, and it doesn't sound like it was that far out of left field because you guys have been talking about it, is the Argentine. Like, because now Lucas is
species number 3.
Yeah. Lucas is like, I got an Argentine. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I know I've been obsessed with them, but when the hell were you talking about?
Okay,
them?
so full credit to Alex on the Argentines.
Really?
I have. Oh, dude, of course. I'm over here in Australian Python land.
Then they're not from Australia or Python.
Alex, Alex called out and showed me the Max Pink Argentines specifically a few years ago as a goal species that he had.
Okay.
And even for me, I was like, damn, like that thing,
even at
that
the time,
thing is
was
crazy.
Like, I'd be down to do that.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So when we found some at the show, we were able to work out a little trade for a pink female, and yeah, she's awesome. Very excited, very happy.
Very cool.
Coolest snake in the house as of yesterday.
Well, I like the idea of you guys going the pink route because my Argentines are high black. So I'm like, okay. I like having friends that have stuff that are like adjacent where I'm like, there could maybe be a thing later. Like, it's like, yeah.
Right. So they've always kind of, not always, over the past few years, they've been on that short list and in mind. But then the other thing I would say that happened that really like kind of pushed me to manifest is that Alex produced some boas this year over in that cage behind him. And the babies have been over at my place where the baby racks are. And
I've been playing with baby boas.
I've been playing with baby boas. And it's like,
yeah,
these are really freaking cool.
He's gonna keep one of those, and he's gonna have an Argentine, and we're gonna get a male in a week or two, hopefully. So Lucas is all in on boas now.
Yeah, soon we'll be getting rid of them dirty blackheads and get nothing but boas.
I don't think he'll ever give up.
No, it's an impossible. That's why I chose the blackheads. Anything else, it could actually happen. So yeah.
There was a time when all I had was Brettles and Blackheads. They're still here.
Yeah.
You guys clowning me. I'm giving up on stuff.
I would never say anything about that.
I have an adult female bredli that you sent over here.
Yeah, but we traded, didn't we?
What did we trade?
What did we trade?
The olives. That was the olives.
Ah.
Yeah, got rid of those.
I really liked them.
Everything I send you, you get rid of.
You know what's really funny?
Oh my God.
You know what's really funny? You know what I've kept? The normal Brettles.
The normal Brettles. The LASIK normal bredli that you're like, can I have that? I'm like, yeah, get it the hell out of here. And you're
She's
like,
gorgeous. She's one of the best normals I've ever seen.
Her father's gorgeous. When he fires up, he's like a completely different snake. But it's normal bredli, LASIK. So yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You have the tigers.
Oh yeah, I'm not planning on getting rid of the tigers.
The
tigers are crazy.
You send those back. I gave you holdback quality.
Those are some of the stripiest striped snakes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the second pick. Yeah, those are one of the ones that you like when you're like, hey, do you want this back? And I'm like, no, those I'll want back.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you know that it was only 3 species, but I also worked out another little situation with our old employer, John Emberton, for another Stropharis. Yay.
Another. So you had the Stropharis geckos, and then Alex wants to add satanic leaf-tail geckos. So it sounds like this.
Are you actually going to, though?
No, that's like
no. Just look at the money. Yeah.
All my dreams.
No, that is years away.
I'll get whatever I want, but
got it.
No, satanic leaf-tails. Oh my God, I don't want to stress. That feels like Abronia all over again, where I'm just like,
I don't think I would be all right with that kind of shit. You know,
they're gonna overheat. They're gonna fucking
this coming from me, where I haven't seen my male rough scale python in a week, and he didn't eat, so I was a little twitchy, and I ripped apart his hide just to find a totally blue rough scale python sitting in the bottom of his thing, going, what, dude? Okay, put it
threat display.
Back. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, so it's like certain things you kind of give a little bit more attention to.
Yeah, Lucas helped me sell a group of Bronia maybe a year or so ago, and
those were cool lizards.
On the other hand, I'm so happy I don't have to worry every time the house gets above 80 or every time I do something with my weekend and not spray them twice a day. They're a wonderful lizard, but maybe not for me. I wish I had all the time in the world to fret over them. But
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I recently added bamboo rat snakes. And right now they have no heat and they're not on anything, which is fantastic for snake room in wintertime or basement in wintertime. We're about to head into Owen's house in summertime, which can get pretty high up there. So it's like, all right. We need to they may be moving around.
That's a good comment. Normalize keeping animals that give panic attacks if the house gets above 78 degrees. Have you heard of newts?
I mean, it's a great idea because a lot of the Asian colubrids don't like it hot.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the problem is that in my house there are not just snakes. There is me and my wife and
a
various
squirrel.
mammals. I hate that. Yes. Yeah, various mammals, which we can't let the house get insanely hot either. But it's funny because we're actually adding solar panels to the roof of the house.
Nice.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to do that, but I don't know
because the electric bill is insane, and I found a way to make it stop, to make it not hurt. So, but that's something else that we're adding. That
you get that battery system going too, so that you can store your solar.
Yeah. But they're like, listen, looking at your power bill, we would say that if you generated enough, we'd buy it back. But there's no chance in hell that you are ever going to make. Yeah, you're never even get you still have to buy power from the power company. But we're gonna take a lot of the bill away. I'm like, okay, all right,
whatever you'll do for me.
Yeah, whatever, it'll work. Yeah. So,
Lucas, did you see that table at the expo selling solar?
I did actually. That's really funny that you mentioned it.
It's one of those things where it's like you think about it, and then you're like, screw it, and then you jump into it, and you're like, oh, it's this easy. Okay. Like, so
I
yeah.
feel like the reptile people probably have worse electric bills than plant people and aquarium people, right?
that
Like
was
with
the
all
thing
these
of that.
bulbs.
Well, that was the thing of that. Like a couple people used to get like raided because they thought you were doing some sort of illegal marijuana grow, and it's like no, it's just
That would
frogs.
happen in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're just lizards. I swear. It's like, yeah. It's
in Germany.
Yeah, Germany. You know, weed used to be a lot more illegal. And
Yes.
so they would do the solar cam from above.
They are smoking the grass.
They would see your house glowing orange, and they'd be like, "That one," and then they would rate it. So it might be just be some.
These are my lizards.
And then
that got Russian.
Saltwater marine iguanas, and then they would still get
arrested because you can't do that. Yeah.
And the weed.
Yeah. DEA would leave. In comes Fish and Game, and yeah, so
nice. Yeah. So it was a great time. Good show.
So now that the show's done and stuff like that, how is the breeding season progressing for the two of you? Because I know Lucas has a couple of clutches on the ground of Womas.
It's Woma City over here.
Okay.
I'll go first. Yeah, 3 clutches of Womas. One of the clutches, all 8 eggs going strong. Today's day 52, I think. I'm counting. I'm hiding the scissors.
Yeah, Alex, please go over there and get everything. All scissors. Like, I don't care how large or small they are. Take them away from him.
He's hiding box cutters everywhere. I can't.
Where is your stash? Where are you hiding them?
Don't shake too hard. You might get cut. Yeah, and okay, so Womas are really cool, but probably the most exciting thing is that I got a brand new litter of Lake Chapala garter snakes.
Oh my god!
Can we kick him out?
No, I mean he has the power.
I'll kick myself out.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And he did.
He actually
so,
did.
I don't even know. Like, the problem is that does he even know? Do you even know how many generations you have of Lake Chapala garters? Like, is this the same pair that is breeding constantly, or are we talking kids now? Like
kids.
Have you raised up a garter snake?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Okay, so
lies.
This all began with 1.1 from Zach. And then they weren't supposed to be old enough to breed. And then I was like, Zach, there's baby garter snakes. And he's like, what the hell? And
I'm beginning a theory of that. I'm not sure if Zach knows what age things breed at. So, yeah, that's two now. So that's all right. Yeah.
Yes. And so I definitely kept 2 of the girls from those first litters, grew them up, put them in with the original pair. There's like 1.3 in there. And then I think last year, 2 out of those 3 girls produced, the original girl and one of her daughters. And then this year, I am terrified that all 3 are going to produce.
Because that is what will happen.
So far, only 1 did. And
there's one male breeding with all these females.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's
great.
It
isn't. No. There's
people. I changed my tune on the garter snake front.
Okay.
You hear that?
used to be the most critical person ever of his fucking endless supply of black and brown garter snakes.
Excuse me.
They're not orange. They're not red. They're not blue.
Yellow and orangish stripe, and they are blue on the bottom of their.
If I turn it over upside down, I can see the blue. That's
pick it up, let it shit on you. And
that is you know what?
They do not musk. They do not bite.
I don't believe
they don't
you,
bite,
but
they don't bite. All
Lucas
of the people are on my side.
Stupid. They're not stupid with these Lake Chapala garter snakes that I have apologized. I think the tipping point for me was when he got an Argentine boa for
the damn garter snakes.
In a way.
The tipping point for me was last week.
Looks like I think I've made more money on garter snakes this year than anything else, and I'm like, how is that
possible?
I mean,
Woma Kid of the West, and you are making more money.
It's what people if that's what people are looking for, like that's what it is. And it's like, yes, he sells one Woma, he eclipses all the things that he's done for the year. But yeah,
they're really cool, guys. That's it. That's the full rebuttal.
Okay, all right, that's it. And the defense rests. Okay, well.
No, but yeah, so I'm actually really happy that I got another litter of those guys because I sold some of my last ones at the show from 2023. I think I only have 3 or 4 left from last year.
You don't even get to an empty tank before you refill.
3 tanks.
Wow, dude.
3 tanks at all times.
Way to yuck my yum. I was just explaining that it's doing well.
But you're like, I got down to 4 and now we went up 10. Like
I'm gonna send you a box full of them. If you don't stop talking
those over here.
I know that you and Melissa love animals too much to not keep them.
Bet me.
I don't think he's gonna give an Argentine to us.
Yeah, no, that will not happen. I will not be like, damn, now I must send him an Argentine. Put my Argentines in a box. As is the custom now that I've been given garter snakes.
Note, it says for Argentine?
Question mark?
Nobody will be as confused as when I asked Nick Mutton if he wanted Lake Chapala garter snakes in his box. He was like, what?
You should have just sent it to him. Because that would have been hilarious.
He's like, is this food? Is this a feeder?
I think some snakes got in our box on the way.
Exactly.
So
your
weird.
package got routed to Jalisco, Mexico.
All right.
Yes. So, and then let's see, hypo, stonewash Brettles. I'm almost certain gravid. Super excited about that.
Cool.
Should be a nice big clutch. And
this is the first time for hypo stonewash?
Yeah, because Nick just sent the pair to me.
Okay. But it's like, I know you were doing some hypo stuff and some stonewash stuff, but I didn't think you ever got to the maybe.
So that was my first pair of Brettles. Was full blood hypo het stonewash from Nick. I got those in 2019. But the female developed some kind of a like mass in her stomach or something where she couldn't eat. And so when she passed, I sent the male to Casey Cannon.
Right.
So, back in it, which is really nice of Nick to let me get back into that. They're beautiful.
Will be fun. Those will be fun.
Outside of that, I don't think that my blackhead is going to go, the one that I've been talking about. I think she reabsorbed, which makes me very sad. But such is life.
Is there still hope? Like, when was the last time there was a shed? Because I thought my coastal girl reabsorbed and she dropped 10 on me.
There is still hope. I mean, it's less than a week ago. I let her slither through my hands and I still feel like boom, 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 boom in the right places, but she's eating. Which last time she was completely shut down from food when she was gravid. But I did catch her like laying weird under her box, which she only did last time when she was gravid. So
maybe it's a small clutch, maybe it's duds, maybe she's just packing on the pounds. My female tiger ate up until the week, then she refused once, then she laid, and then the day of ate.
That's kind of where I'm at with you, is like maybe it's just a weird case, but goes. I've been waiting for the shed to let me know that it might be a weird case, but it hasn't happened. So I don't know.
Just don't go on tour and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I breed blackheads. I breed blackheads really well when I'm not here.
But just go away. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That's about it for me.
That's your season. Alex, what do you got cooking?
Got a lot of raise ups. No,
been there, done that.
Well,
what did you create?
Well, we had some Boas on the Eclipse, which was pretty cool. I was very excited about that. I was given an IMG boa when I worked at the vivarium. Someone just walked in and was like, "Hey, I'm getting rid of this snake." Someone at the counter says, "We like IMG boas," and I was like, "Yes,
I do."
Take this snake from you, and
Yeah.
I was so like caught off guard that I didn't ask anything about it. Male IMG boa. Are there other genetics? Definitely. Do I know what they are?
No clue. Yeah. Just, okay.
After a couple years, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a female for it, and if you breed IMG to a motley, creates a really dark snake. So my goal was to get a female motley of size and give it a go. And Lucas and Gabi, my partner, found this giant anery motley female, bought it for me last year, and then this year, first chance she could have gone, she went, which was really exciting because when I worked with Vivarium, I didn't breed any animals at home.
Okay.
It's interesting how my relationship with keeping reptiles changed after I moved on from the place. It's been pretty great. Living next to not working at a reptile shop all day.
Every day. Yeah. Yeah, it helps.
It's a lot easier to enjoy things when it's not your job.
Oh yeah. Oh hell
this
yeah.
is not IMG Watley. But
yeah.
Anyway, I got super lucky. So I had 15 babies, and 6 of them were IMG Motleys. And then 2 of them were regular IMGs. So as far as luck goes for a first litter from this pair, it's amazing.
And these are the baby boas that Lucas has been playing with. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Like, can I raise one up? You're guessing for us.
Yeah, just go.
We're gonna keep 2, and then once they're ready, try and list them, get them out of here. And
cool.
What else? I have these Shafur's Tanakata laying. I think they're probably gonna lay any day now. Lucas has listened to me fret over it for the last week straight because I'm stressed with the female. So less stressful animals, but still worried about geckos and lizards every day.
Yeah, things with legs.
Geckos, though.
But a couple of them should hatch in the next 10 days, I think, which is really exciting because we've had this project for like a year now. So
maybe 2.
Maybe 2, yeah.
It'd
be nice to finally have babies from this project because I didn't think I knew enough when I first had them, and I think this year I accidentally cooled and food cycled them, and I think that did a trick. And wow, what do you know? They bred, and also I learned that they can dig
deep. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's my one tip for anyone with Stropherus is like deep egg box and check the very bottom because they can get down there. They weigh 3 grams, but they will dig to China if you let them.
They'll dig forever.
Yeah,
no joke.
One of the negatives. People only want to share the positives, but I'm checking way more consistently and way more thoroughly now, and I'm finding little
dried up eggs.
Oh, cool! I didn't think this tiny gecko could dig to the very bottom of this cup. And Lucas is like, "You've bred these before, you
you did this at least 3 times."
But I'm not finding eggs.
Hey, you're just like me with black hands.
Well, that was technically my fault too. So
I mean, sometimes shit weird shit happens. Like I had my Chinese king rat. This is her 3rd year going, and yesterday she shed her back half, not all of her, just the back half, and then she had 3 slugs that looked stretched out, dried out, and weird. And I'm like, please God, don't tell me you still got stuff in there from last year. And then letting her run through my hands, I could feel about 10 or 12 bumps. So I'm like, okay, are there still ones in there? What's going on? And I went to check on her today, and she tried to bite me in the face. So I don't know what's going on with her, but she seems unhappy. So
consistency is key, but then animals do whatever they want or have to. So it's very interesting. You guys interviewed, I think Gary Scavino, somebody who worked with GTPs, and he was talking about how this female didn't stop eating the entire time she was gravid, and then later a clutch of eggs, but he could tell that she retained 2. And he didn't want to take her to the vet. He didn't want to palpate. He didn't want to do anything to stress the animal out. And so he was feeding his collection, and then a day or 2 later, he offered it a rat. and the rat caused it to shit.
Shoot it out. Yeah.
It just came along with it, and everything was fine. We had to cut anything open or squeeze anything real hard, and I just think it's funny how
there are some things that happens with. It was Jason Balin had a tiger female for years, and she had multiple clutches, and then she would always just retain a few, and then throughout the year there'd be like poop and then a random mummified egg. Like it's just like there it is. And she lived for many years, bred multiple times, and it didn't seem to be that was the problem. But then on the other hand, I've had females where they have their first clutch, they retain one egg, and then they're done, and that's it. So it just depends. It really does.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So on my end, I have 3 clutches of Madagascar hognose on the ground.
Oh my god.
The greatest who has ever done it.
I can't. They won't stop. Like it's just like I'm just like that's enough. We don't need any more of these diet Dr. False water cobras.
That's your like Chapala garter snake.
It is because there are other people. Because there are people who now I've joined these Madagascar hognose groups on Facebook, and there are people who are like they can't get them to breed, and I'm like, what are you doing wrong? Like how could you not? Like yeah, just so. I have that. I'm waiting on a blonde hognose to lay because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Those are really cool.
That my female is weird because she's starting to develop black scales. Like they're supposed to be uniform blonde, but she has like 1, 2, 3, 4, like just a totally black scale. And I'm like, I thought she was dirty, so I'm like trying to clean her. And I'm like, what is
morph?
It's a morph. Yeah, morph. So
world's first.
Yeah, I'll post that next time. So that's happening.
You get to name it now.
Of course I will. I don't know what I'll name it, but
name it Mite Phase.
No, God, I hate those. I hate that word. I hate the name of that morph. I have those. I did get a clutch of tigers from your guy's mom.
Cool.
She was bred to a hypo that Eric dropped off at my house.
Is the mom the Balin or the Ted Thompson?
Ted Thompson.
Nice.
Yep. Your guy's dad was the Balin Red Tiger. So so now I have potentially hypo tigers and stuff like that coming. And that's the only carpet clutch that I have this year.
Yeah, big colubrid guy.
That one is not eating and has been hiding from me. And she got that point where the belly scales pop out. So I've seen nothing from them this year, nothing from the roughies. But now she's not eating and she's got a popped out belly. So I'm like, you got something in there.
Is that the same one that laid last year?
One of them. The other one, because both those girls laid last year.
Okay.
One.
Sorry.
No, what was that?
Oh, was last year your first year breeding roughies?
Yes. Yep. Last year was the first year. And we got both those girls. And then the one female, which is the bigger one, like wanted nothing to do with the male, like chased him out of the cage, was like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, okay, good enough. And the other female, which went later in the year, was the one that actually was cool with him and I guess receptive. So we'll see. And then I got 2 pairs of rhinos. I got that Chinese king rat doing God knows what. False water cobras are doing God knows what.
Jesus.
Vietnamese blue beauties. I don't know what they're doing. And I swear to God, I'm going to ultrasound this Karibo. Yeah.
Vietnamese blue beauties?
You didn't know I had those?
I knew you had the male. When did you get a girl?
That was the problem, is I had a pair that turned out to be 2 girls.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. So when did you get the boy?
I got him last year.
Nice.
He's a little bit on the small side, but he's like a little, like maybe 4-foot male, and those females are like 6 foot. Like it's like they're not small, and he's just like on top of them, and I'm like, get it, buddy. Like you can do it. Like,
sounds like a bro project.
I'm like, I hope you can do it. Please don't kill him by accident. So there's that, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a pair. I don't know what the gold-faced white lip are doing. I have a pair bred lie together just because I got tired of doing all the water bowls, so I put them together. So
do you have southerns?
What?
Do you have southern white lips?
I do have southern white lips. And something very bad happened this year with the southern white lips. my male and female got into a fight, and the female got a secondary infection from her wounds and unfortunately died. So I now have an adult male wild caught blackface, and then I have a pair of juvies from Lisa that I'm raising up, and the juvies are worse behaved than the wild caught adult male.
Something about F1s.
Something about F1s, man.
That's, I was about to just say what Lucas said.
Yeah, something about F1s. It's just like, no, you can't pull me from the wild. I resist. It's like what? So
they were promised nature, and they got you.
And they got me. Yeah.
It's like evolution. Plastic tub. Everything I'm designed to do is not built for the.
So I mean, I have one from her first pairing, which is my girl, and the biggest mistake I've ever done is I put her in a cage up here, and she's in this nice planted vivarium with glass. And every once in a while, I just hear like dunk, and I'm like, what? And she's like up here, double S, looking down, dunk, and I'm like, stop. Like, so it just hits the glass. So I'm like, all right.
Sounds like a good way to pierce your eyebrow.
Exactly. So, well, the thing is that right below her, I have a zebra jag who's just in this cage, and he was bigger, so I put him in there, and he fit nice. And I hate the idea of giving him a lot of vertical space because now I can see the wonderful little, like, you know, kind of Shamu like flip back things that he does. So he'll be moving because I need that cage because I'm getting a pair of dogtooth cat eyes.
What?
Why? Yes.
Why? When?
Why? When? Who knows? I'm offered. It happens.
Wait, Boyega?
Yeah.
Boyega. So you like the falsies, and now you're gonna get the Boyega, and then what's next? A Gaboon Viper?
No. I have the Barons Racers.
Ooh.
Can
you hurry up with that, please?
Yeah, please.
I feed them all the time. They're vicious little shoelaces. Like, I don't. I'm trying. They only go so far.
The sooner you do that, the sooner you have diamonds.
Okay, right.
You heard the man.
That's it. We've now found it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a dream of one of our bamboo cages with a green, a blue, and a brown.
Yeah.
I just want it as a display.
That would be pretty.
The only snake I've ever let out and not gotten back is little green barons. It was like my second snake ever when I worked at the vivarium, and
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just that on its own.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was.
Oh, yeah, my relationship with reptiles is definitely
my friend Dan produced some barons, and I'm like, I think you need to give that. I think you need to give me a pair. And he's like, sure. And then I think it was. I think I still owed him money on them, and he had a table at a show, and I brought some pine snakes. I'm like, put these on your table, and he sold them, and I'm like, how much money do I owe you? He's like, probably that much. I'm like, just keep it. Like we're done now, and it's like I definitely like the Barons, and I they're both greens, but I think their parents might have had blue in there. There's a chance that they could throw it. I don't care. Blues are gorgeous, but I'm happy with the greens.
What is your understanding of the inheritance of that? Is it pretty much a crapshoot? Yeah, I can't either. And I tried to press Loafman for it, and he kind of also was like,
From what I understand, blues to blue can still
be
have green in there. Yeah. But you have a higher chance of more blues. I think
sounds like some chondro shit, dude.
Right. And now you're starting to get into the point where people have bred their Boyega where it's like these pair, this 1.1 will produce greens, browns, and blues. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want a pair that I can have greens, browns, and blues. The issue is that blues are now, I think the last time I checked it, like 1,800.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I'm like,
we wanted one at the show, and it was 16, which was like fairly priced.
There's one guy who goes to the shows here, which this is something that I don't know if you guys saw this or have seen it, but it grinds my craw, where they come to the show and they bring these $high animals just to sit there and slap a sticker that says "not for sale."
Yeah, his
And
name was Glenn. Glenn
this-
Reptiles had an adult Ruffy on the table.
This guy shows up to every show nearby here. He brings Gila monsters, beaded lizards, and Blue Barons racers, all of them with no like not for sale on them. And it's like, are you killing me? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Glenn, right, Owen?
I believe I do.
Glenn. Yeah, he had the Blue Barons adult not for sale on the table day 1, and then the adult Ruffy on the table not for sale day 2. I was like, "You got babies?" He's like, "Nope."
Nope. So you just got this.
Lucas, I swear we talked about Baron's genetics, but I went on like a wormhole on like some German forum about because I was trying to understand the brown thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hole. But basically, the way that some German breeder understands it is that the brown is a dominant gene.
Okay.
Oh.
And blue can be recessive. So if you have a visual, you can breed it to a green, and if they tracked it, you can still have a lot of blue in the babies.
Okay.
Just the frustrating part is that they're all green, so you can't like detect it super well unless you bred 1,000 of them. So you have to raise everything up for a year or two to see if you have blues or not. So like that's the frustrating thing about that morph for that color phase, whatever we want to call it, is that there's no way to tell that you succeeded. You got to like raise it up, and then maybe raising it up for 2 years means you get to sell it for $2,000. So
I mean, I've seen some greens. Fair. I've seen some greens that have like they're green and then they kind of turn blue.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, and I was always told that thing just had blue parents, and it's like, okay. And that is definitely, it is like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old by the time I've seen that green stuff on it. So I've also seen other ones like from overseas that are like almost white and stuff like that. Like there's some other ones out there. Green? No, that's just like, it's like a cream color white kind of, it's just white. And it's like, oh, okay. So I think they're a cool species.
Color phase.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep. There's a pair of browns on Morph Market for $2,000, and I should have made something happen. We should have done something to get those because that was such a cool opportunity. And
I can only sell my plasma so many times.
I told you we're gonna need a kidney eventually. Just like let's just start doing that.
I would.
I would have done that if I could have
for the right thing.
So they're definitely my favorite, and people are like, "Oh, well, how do you compare barons to the rhinos?" I'm like, they're different, completely different animals. They just happen to have both weird-looking faces, like
super different.
Yeah,
I have decided that I don't like rhinos.
I have made that decision. Okay, yeah.
Lucas doesn't like it when his house gets above 85 degrees.
I mean, that's super true. Very valid. My house cooks.
And rhinos would not like that. No,
they wouldn't like that.
They're actually right.
They're back there.
Right there.
The sun hits mine. I take all the heat. He's behind me. I provide shade.
Yeah, you block Alex with your body. Yeah, okay.
So he's right. Least I can do. Lucas has watched 600 animals for me.
Very cool. Very cool.
Are you doing any kings this year?
No Callies. No.
Any of your like fill the freezer projects going?
No, I didn't do the corn snakes. Well, I tried pairing the corn snakes. I got a coral het snow female from Riley, which I am suspicious of because it's been in with my breeder male, who will breed a piece of rope if it showed interest, and the two of them have been very happy roommates together. And I'm like, I'm suspicious, so I may need to resex that from my buddy. But no other corns because my one female corn kept double clutching, and it finally got the better of her, and she looks like absolute hell paved over. Yeah. So I'm like, you need you're done. You're not even going in with the male this year. She's not even in the same room with him. She is now starting to put on weight, and she does look insanely better. But I'm feeding her every week a bunch of food and whatever's left over. But it was a long road there for her. The other one is a snow female, and I sold all my snows last year for I did not get a lot for them. So
Okay.
I'm kind of pumping the brakes on that. I have a pair of Cali Kings, but I want my female to get a little bit bigger. She looked, skinnier after 2 years. It was 2 years ago, I think I had my last Cali clutch, and she just never really bounced back well. So she looks good now. So next year she'll be ready to roll. Next year's going to be a freaking shit show. I think I've already looked at it. It's like 30 something species. Like it's going to be nuts. Wow. So, but only like 3 carpet clutches.
Crazy.
Crazy. Like to stay busy.
Yeah. It's the Team Wars will get their shot next year. The Scrubs will get their shot next year. Yeah. Just keep going. A different pair of gold phase white lips. I fucking hate the water pythons. I fucking hate the water pythons. I'm going to get Dunai and Cebu before I get the goddamn water pythons. You know how many times I've been thinking about just selling this pair of water pythons and grabbing another pair of water pythons and just redo it for the 3rd fucking time? Like, come on.
I'm going to try my water pythons next year. And if I get them before you, that will be fun to talk about on the podcast.
Now we're going to go to the list. I hope you're happy you did this.
What are you doing?
Don't worry. It'll be fine.
What are you doing? Get off of your phone.
No, it'll be okay. No, we're going to the list. There it is. The snake species list. Let's see. 19 species. Come at me, bro.
Get at me.
I mean, I'm probably at like 4, bitch.
So if I quit now, you'll catch me in a couple years, right?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well,
Future Ryan Young.
Future Ryan. Well,
Owen.
Yes.
Is future Ryan Young.
Tempting. I have
Young
too much
Owen.
shit. I would love to get half the shit that Ryan gets. And the problem is that I'm looking at things like right now I have 2.2 olive pythons. And if Riley hits Apodora and Apodora become available to me, do I get Apodora and then eventually go down to 1.1 olive pythons?
I heard you talking about that in the last podcast. You're like, Riley hits those.
Yeah.
You could get one from Riley and one from Ryan, have an unrelated pair.
Damn it. Yeah, but I could trade Riley. I'd have to buy from Ryan. Like that's
no. I mean, jokes aside though, like if this hypothetical situation comes to fruition, you totally should. I mean,
yeah, but then
you can love olives and still want to like do the next thing.
But am I torpedoing the olive project by going down to 1.1?
Do you care if you are?
I like producing olives, just not all the time. I mean, unfortunately, they're not flying off the shelves at $550 like they were before. But also, I don't think I need an animal that produces 14, 15 eggs a year out of olives. Or yeah,
exactly. So what if you just had them because you like olive pythons and then you tried to produce something else?
I do like olive pythons.
Other than diamonds.
Yeah, but well, then there's that option.
What is on the bucket list? What else do you want?
He needs inlands.
I do not need inlands.
You do. You should. Yeah, you
not.
do.
No, I don't. No.
You don't care about inlands?
He does. He just doesn't want to admit it on live television.
I've desperately wanted to get back into diamonds. Owen Pelly pythons, but that's never going to happen.
Owen Pellies.
Yeah. Apodora is definitely living rent free in my brain right now. Yeah, I could feed the water pythons to the Apodora. Yeah.
Oh, damn, Lisa. Okay.
Yeah, Lisa's
big brother, little brother.
Lisa's a little hardcore there.
I didn't know we could say that on here.
There, everything goes.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Ball pythons suck.
Oh no! Oh no! Accept that! Oh,
can't say that. No, I can't say that. Now we'll start fights.
I'm just kidding. He loves ball pythons.
I love Carpondros, and I
Oh
love
God, no,
Pythons.
now I'm unhappy. No,
All
And
life is
I really want a bat
Carpondros.
eater. I'm definitely gonna get a bat eater someday.
I got a retic if you want it.
I need a. If you have a berm
No.
and a retic, and you breed it.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I have a platinum Motley super something retic.
Okay, are you selling it by the pound or?
She's a dwarf, so probably.
Oh, she's a dwarf. Okay.
Mm.
Dude, Lucas
only
had a
12
retic.
feet.
Dwarf. She's only 12 feet. Yeah, 13 feet. Yeah.
Remember when Lucas had a retic?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right, back on me. Let's go.
Dude, you're entertaining.
Yeah.
Your antics are fascinating.
Well, I traded that for Lake Chapala garter snakes.
There it is.
That was a pure super dwarf Calatoa for Lake Chapala garter snakes, and then I turned that again, Lucas math, and then I turned that into Ackies.
I keep track of where the Ackies go because, like, if the Ackies turn into like anthills or the and then like I
have anthill.
I want to see how far we get until we're like, remember when this when this was a retic or these were Lake Chapalas? Like, yeah. So
I do have an anthill.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody offered me another one.
You need two. Again, I feel like we're going back to the.
Don't need two. Just need a Dr. Julander that wants this bloodline.
So you got to send that to the doc.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to take care of it yet because he's going to go to Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say something. What were we talking about?
I'm sorry.
My bucket list, which was Apodora, has been living rent free in my brain. Hog Island Boas, which are kind of in there. I don't want a bat eater. Dear God, no. Oh my God, no. Nor do I want any type of green tree python. Although there were those ones that they're like almost entirely yellow, and then they have some green scales. Those are the only pretty chondros I would ever kind of consider. So
I only like the red ones.
Yeah, those are the only good ones. I want a t-shirt that just says like red Neo or a shirt that says yellow Neo and see how many green tree python people we can get to fight through t-shirts.
It's like the warring tip jars at restaurants where it's like vote for red babies, vote for yellow babies, and then you put the quarters in them.
Yeah.
Vote for red, comment for yellow because commenting takes more effort.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ratio.
I think I have a friend that might produce some really nice chondros, and I'm like, well, he's like, oh, and they could be those buddy. Other buddy.
Can
he's like, and they could be those yellow and green ones. And I'm like, all right, well, if you tell me which ones are going to be which, I'll buy it on the spot, right out of the egg. Tell me which ones they'll be. Yeah.
There's no way to do that, right?
There's not a single
that's
way.
The joke.
Anybody says that. So
Lucas wants GTPs. He said that last night.
He's lying.
Oh, I don't believe he is.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I do. I've never done it right. I've done it and I've never done it right.
Same.
You know? So
I don't want to.
You do shitty things, you get shitty results. You do it right, you get good results.
Yeah, maybe this time we won't pay in Ackies and we'll get more stable animals.
That's what I was gonna say. Thank you. I did get another Ackie at the show too.
Oh,
okay. Thanks to Miss Kathy.
Are you just adding it to the horde at this point, or it's like enter in with the rest of the Ackies?
How many do you think I have?
3.
I do have 3. None of them live together.
Okay, they're not big enough yet, or
one of them's big.
Okay, so the other ones are not big enough to be. They could live together, but it would be very short-lived kind of roommate situation.
Probably. Yeah. Well, they were living together. I kind of have a tradition of naming all Ackies Tim, because when my roommate Tim moved to Scotland is when I got Ackies. And so I had the 2 babies together, and then one started attacking the other one because they were in like a 2.5 gallon aquarium. They were very small. I'm not a terrible person.
So
And-
Tim was very mean to Tim, and
Yes.
they fought, and they were
so that
separated.
split it into a new derivative of Tim. So we had Bully Tim, which is like the one that was doing the biting, and Vic Tim, which was the one getting bit.
And then there's just Tim.
I think the other one's a Tammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim Tom.
What the hell?
And then for the Tristis, it's Tom's and Tina's.
Okay.
I'm
Why?
gonna stop talking.
Why?
The names of Lucas's animals are honestly hilarious.
They
It's
are.
really it's too bad Eric's not here because he'd be laughing a lot at the things that I'm saying. And there's dead air without it.
I'm sorry you have to just be. I'm sorry he left you, okay? I'm the one
Dad!
who's still here. You know,
Dad.
he left you and somehow got closer physically to you.
Oh, but he'll never come here though.
No.
Not me though.
No, the two of you
No.
can't be in the same room.
Lisan Al Gaib.
Nisan Al Gaib.
All right. So
All right. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
What's going on with the network?
does things, shows come out.
Got any good shows coming?
I don't know. Eric does that shit.
I thought you said you wanted to talk about shows.
I thought it was no Reptile shows, not the show. No.
Oh.
Get on my level, okay?
My
You know,
bad. My
Eric
bad.
has a couple shows that are in the pipe, and I'll pretend like I know what those are, and that he doesn't tell me the week of. So,
Mhm.
The last one you did was really good.
which one was that one?
I can't remember, but it was the guy who was forced to move out of his house and he opened a pet shop overnight.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Apodora.
Yep. That was
What was his
cool.
name?
Holy crap, I'm blanking on it. I want to say Cody.
Oh yeah,
Was
it's
it?
Cody.
Yeah,
that was a fun listen.
it was a great show, especially because he had a giant monitor set up behind him, and
A
he
quince.
and he's talking, and this thing is just kind of climbing around. It got a drink, and then it walked around to some other places, and I'm like, I could be here for hours.
As Lucas says, Lizard TV.
Lizard TV. That's
Lizard
right.
TV. Okay.
We had Lizard TV at the show. That brought everybody in to not buy stuff. That was cool.
I mean, yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, the people were loving the Tristis running around. Oh my god! We had the funniest comment. This woman came up to us and she's like, "I really like how that tank is set up. It's
Oh yeah.
I've never seen one set up like that." We're like, "Thank you very much." Like we put a lot of work into it. And she's like, "Yeah, watching the lizards run around is like so much fun." And it's a fish tank with the sliding top, one piece of energy and a water bowl, no hide, because obviously.
Oh my god!
We're like, "Oh, you mean the glass tank?" And she's like, "Yeah, it looks great."
Yeah,
We're
where
like,
can I get one of those?
Oh, like just ego death. We're like, oh.
Like, so
I
you're
was
not
like, is
talking
it-
about this stack of like artisan woodworking
No, she's
cages.
talking about the sliding glass tank cage.
Yeah.
Like we found that in the parking lot on our way here. Like it
We
was.
Go
literally
dumpster
was
dive
in the
at
Iberian
PetSmart.
parking lot. You're not wrong. Like
See?
that's exactly where we got it.
Oh my
And we were
god!
looking at each other like, oh.
It's always that. It's like sometimes.
She led with, "Where'd you get that?" "Oh, we make them." She's like, "Wow, great." She's talking about a 10-gallon aquarium.
She's imagining you guys like pouring the molten glass into molds and stuff. Like
we actually carved it out of a single piece of glass. That we
yeah,
found in the
it took a
beach.
lot.
You gotta
Many
lick the
small talk.
marble.
It's weird because that stuff happens. Is like people come up to your table and they're like, "Oh my god!" and they get up and close, and you're like, "Yes, somebody really," and they're like, "This thing," and it's like the ugliest carpet python you've ever created, and they're like, "That's amazing."
Okay.
Like that one's orange. You're like, it's like, what do you mean? Like you went for him? So, but
That's how I feel every time somebody chooses a coastal over a Brettles.
whoa, killer.
Mm.
All right. Whoa. It's just,
They're both your snake. Calm down.
I mean, but I like coastal. Remember, you got to understand is that my Bredli journey began as a one-up FU to my curtain. Okay. Because he had the pair of Bredli that he couldn't get the breed. and I bought them, and that's how I met Mike. And then I got them, and then the following year I produced them. So that's kind of how that goes. And I do like to rub that in his face every once in a while.
Okay.
I hope that's what happens to your Woma, because that guy was nice.
I sent my Womas to a guy I thought would breed them, and then he just got rid of them.
What?
Well, they were infertile.
That is probably it. Yeah, there may have been other factors. Yes. So
Copper and Matilda, I'll never forget.
They were horrible creatures.
Yeah, they sucked.
The only time she didn't like bite the hell out of me is when she was gravid.
She was gravid a lot for a snake that can't have babies.
Like, thank you. It's almost like, God damn it. Like, I'd probably three Woma clutches deep if I got a viable male.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Have you bred Womas?
Nope.
Oh.
Not successfully.
Are you going to revisit?
Nope. Hate them. Aspidaites suck. Lucas is like,
I was literally thinking, we went to the vivarium this morning and we are talking about, how many holdbacks Lucas was going to try and keep.
Keep all of them.
And
all of them.
Basically, that was pretty much the answer. But I was like, it's so funny that out of all the animals that Lucas like could have stumbled upon and been fascinated over, it's like these mean, dumb, orange dirt snakes that will eat you and the and that's what he likes. And
yeah,
it's so fascinating because
I have a picture of Matilda. I have two pictures of Matilda. One of her hanging off of the shorts that I was wearing because she didn't hit me; she hit the shorts and just wrapped them.
So literally your pants, not even
my pants, just my pants. And then the other one was she's hanging off of the trash bag that was pulled over the trash can. So she had bit it and was just hanging on to the trash can. So yeah,
it was
psychotic.
It was fated because literally the first snake that I ever got bit by was a big 5-foot Woma at the vivarium by this horrible woman that was like, yeah, you can hold it here. She knew damn well what was going to happen. And I didn't even work there yet. I was like I was a customer.
I had done exactly that to a customer.
I understand sometimes they deserve it. I was not that guy, pal.
Yeah, I was like explaining Womas to me in front of his girlfriend and like trying to be like, no, actually, I think they're like this. And I was like, okay, sure.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, good.
He's
like, sweetest snakes on YouTube.
It's like, oh, they're really not that bad. Bah, bah. I was like, okay, buddy, you got that? Like,
you good? You good? You good?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Womas, but
everybody has their thing.
Even before I got bit, I saw the picture. I've told the story before. I just came across a picture of one, saved it on my phone, texted my friend Jacob, who I've known since elementary school. And I was like, this is a Woma python, and I am going to get at least 3. And he was like, you do not need this. You're losing your mind. You already have 2 snakes now. What's going on? And here we are. It was love at first sight.
And I think you have at least 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since there was less than 3.
Something about Aspidaites, because I know Jason Balin always produced Womas because he had a pair, and every couple of years he'd have a couple. And they always sold well for him, but they weren't really the power punching Womas that you see, like, thin stripes, bright orange, and stuff like that.
Sure.
They were just Womas.
Right.
So I think that was the thing is like, I'll try these guys because blackheads kind of appealed to me, but I never really got into it because I couldn't get past the congratulations, you've hatched. Now live, damn it. Like, it's now you will live. So help me God. And
I have something to say about that, but keep riffing.
Okay. So, I just thought this would be a fun project to get into. And it just seemed like some projects, if your heart isn't into it and they don't, and you run into a roadblock, you have that moment where it's like, well, do you continue? Do you go? Like I had this pair, obviously they weren't producing viable eggs. So the next step would be, if I really wanted it, is you get more and start moving stuff around to see who the problem is. But I didn't want to dedicate more cages to Womas. I had other shit. So that's when eventually you decide to move it along. Yeah. So it's different things for different people.
Yeah,
I do
it's
really
really
think that you would like blackheads. Like truthfully, I mean they're
Maybe
a
they're in the
totally
future.
different animal.
Because then that's the other thing is that I was kind of getting at earlier is that when do you have enough success with a species that maybe you decide that you can step away from it?
Ask me about Lake Chapala garters.
That's why I'm saying, like, I have 6 Madagascar hognose. Should I go down to 3? That would open up some more caging. That would do some other stuff. I wouldn't
I
have
think
that
it
many.
depends what your mission is. If it's a checklist species, right? If it's like add it to your 19, and then book it
Water
onto the
pythons,
next to get 20.
Second I get water python eggs, those things are gone.
Right.
He
Then
said that this morning. That's so funny.
me? Yeah, I did say that too. I said that too.
Are you kidding me? I was looking at Chris Salemi has a pair of proven Papuan pythons, Papuan carpets on Morph Market. And I'm like, I should just call him, buy them, breed them, and then be done with this.
And
just,
Eric can never do it again.
Or wait for Lucas to breed this pair because he's going to sell it immediately after. And,
and just dive on his. Yeah.
You
just
two can
jump on them.
2 seasons, no more Papuans. Gone.
There you go. There you go. So
Barn.
that's a husky.
I feel like there's species that like I hope we get some diamonds this year or next. I don't really I'm not in a huge rush. That's a lot.
It's possible.
But to like be surrounded with diamonds and be, overwhelmed with that seems like not a bad thing. And if
that is not a thing that I think would be a problem.
And that's where I was going with it in terms of what's your goal. If your goal is checklist species, breed it, get out of here. You don't need more success. But if your goal is either what Alex is saying, like I want to be a diamond python amongst diamond pythons, then it's never too much. Like you're gonna be Mr. Diamond Python. You keep them all, you breed them forever.
And you build the projects depending on what's going on. Now, I find myself right now with 2.2 adult gold-faced white lips and a trio of captive born and bred babies. So technically, I have 7 gold-faced white lips. And it's like, well, you can't get rid of your proven pair because that would be stupid. And you can't get rid of the other pair because you can play around with those. And you're not going to sell the captive born and bred trio because that's your best chance at getting eggs later on. And it's like, well, hell, all right, I got 7 white lips.
Animals like that are tricky though, because it's going from diamonds to white lip. Like Lucas, when we paired our group together, he's like, you don't have to worry, nothing's going to happen. Like they can't hurt each other.
They won't hurt each other. Yeah.
We see pictures of 6 of them inside of a rock. Like,
On the other hand, we have white lips where you're like, yeah, I tried Southerns and
that happened. Yeah.
I gotta wait. And so I'd say like, such a complex question because like
it is definitely something because that pair I had been cohabbing all year. And there had not been any problems. And then we started getting into cool down, and that's when we had an issue. And it was one issue. I've had my golds bite each other, one another. Never this bad. Never a kind of a thing. So it's just, again, it's luck of the draw. It just happened to be that. Do I still love the species? Yeah. Do they still drive me fucking nuts? Oh, hell yeah. So have I been looking at that male going like, I think I'm going to sell you because you got a female body on you. I don't know if I want you anymore. Like you killed a female. Like I say that, and my ring python has killed 2 males.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. She's with Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I sent her with Ryan.
Outsource that problem.
Nobody died this year. No one died. There are no eggs, but nobody died. So
Dude, John Emberton, the goat.
John Emberton,
the man, the
goat,
myth, the legend, accidentally breeds Bismarcks every other year.
That is my favorite fun fact is that literally, yes, he just produces ring pythons every year. Like just like my fucking corn snakes. But that's the thing is like, never mind. It's okay. I mean, like nobody ever finds the eggs. Because
oh God.
He probably could have produced like 25 ring pythons by now.
I mean, and then they're not the easiest thing to get started in
No.
pet store templates, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I had an adult female that I sent to Ryan, and then I have another female that I got from Eric that is I'm purposely kind of keeping slimmer and smaller, but she's growing like a weed. So I will eventually need a male, but the issue is that I need to find a boy that is close to her size, which is that like we're getting further and further away. And I was hoping to produce some babies and then possibly move her on, because then I can keep some of the babies from the pairing with Ryan and just restart my own ring python project in-house. So,
Nice.
you know, rather than just to hold on to her, because it'd be so hard to find a male that she's a psychopath. Like, I mean, it's one of those, like, you'll kill a male looking at you, you'll kill a boy. Like, if he's anywhere, if he's any smaller than you, you'll take a shot at him. So
I don't know. Lucas is always trying to get me to be patient. He's like, you gotta raise things up sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
I am very impatient, but I do think that that's really wise. And then on top of it, like, why is someone selling this adult male? Does he have a body on him?
Right.
You know, is he?
Right.
But then sometimes it goes great, right? Like your boas and my Western blackheads in the year that I got them. Like sometimes you do get the opportunity to jump right into a project with adult animals, and it all just kind of goes out the window. And then you feel great.
My bread lie.
But yeah, it's just more risky.
Yeah,
there is that risk, and it's almost like with some species you want to get the babies and raise them up in house, but in other ones you're like, I'll roll the dice with this baby, let's see what happens. Like, it's
right.
I mean,
my proven gold-faced white lip was an adult wild caught.
So
kind of
that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to do white lips, and I am not. Maybe
they're not for everybody.
I think I've had like 4 or 5 gold white lips over the years, and oh my god,
I almost bought one from him once.
You know what that snake's name was?
What?
Violence. I love that snake. I think out of all 5 of them, I had like one locale specific one. He was stunning. He was like bright gold. I shouldn't have let go of that animal. He was a sweetheart. Would have been a great animal to
my male blackface is named Kaiju, and I love him so much. But like I said, he killed that female, so I'm a little mad at him. But
he's in the doghouse.
He's in the doghouse. Kaiju is in the doghouse.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
That's something I want. Yeah, Lisa, I someday, somehow, black white lips.
Lisa's white lips are
Lisa.
I have 2 baby white lips from Lisa. I have Noir, and then I have Venom. And I'm determined to make Venom a friend of mine. Noir's gone. That ship sailed. She came pissed as hell at me. I don't understand how that happened. So, but I will get the boy. He will love me. I guarantee it. So.
White lips aren't venomous.
It's funny to think of a Southern being mean. I don't know.
It's never really that way, which is weird because I have the trio of baby golds that I produced. 2 of them I produced, and then I traded a female to Ryan. So technically one of the trio is one of Ryan's, and then the male and the other female are mine. They're actually calmer than the black. And it just seems to be that way where they seem to get hit with a trick. Now they're all bite first, ask questions later, but then the golds tend to be like, all right, well, now that I'm out of my cage, I'll be okay.
Calm down,
so where the blacks will just be like death, constant death. It's like, okay.
Violence, violence.
Just violence. So
I kind of loved her for that, because she'd be out and be like, oh, like maybe she'll calm down like the other ones, and then no.
Well, and that's I'm slowly getting back into it. Like the female scrub shed yesterday.
Did it all come off?
I'm really hoping. I haven't really gotten in there yet.
I've had to soak her.
I don't want to have to go in there because she's really good at this is mine now. come get it. And I'm
See?
like, but I need
Everybody that was
I
making
need
fun
that
of me
hook.
for giving her the hook.
Yeah.
Oh.
That happened several times already where she's like, this is mine. And I'm like, but I need that to come get it. And I'm like, all right, well, we're going to have, and I'm like another hook and I'm grabbing the other hook. It's,
Like
yeah.
you're
I have
sticking beating with
never
it.
met an animal with more fuck you, try it energy.
But the male is not that. He's just like, all right,
No.
I'll go in here now.
And when they were
Bye.
babies, because I raised them up as
Yeah.
hatchies from
Yeah.
Nick, it was the opposite. The girl was the one I could hold without
Right.
getting nailed, and the boy
And the
was the
male
one that
was
was biting
deaf.
me. So you
Yeah.
just never know.
It sometimes it flips, but
Mhm.
those will be cool if I could produce those. It's been a while since I had scrubs, and I had some big bar necks at one point, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of on that. Those they're an impressive animal. Like you can't find a nice, good looking scrub and be like, that's not an awesome animal.
Totally. No, I have no doubt you're gonna do it. I mean, they were slow grown. They're nice and ready for you to just get it going.
It's them, and then I've decided that like, so my backgrounds on all my computers, of course, it's like roughies and stuff like that. Now it's Team Wars because I want them. I want that one. I want the Team Wars. I want those. So
Yeah.
Team Wars are cool.
mine are gorgeous.
I remember it was years ago now that I interviewed you for my little baby podcast before I got adopted, and you pulled out the Timors, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" That's one of the prettiest snakes I've ever seen.
It's a Timor python, yeah. That's the lesser Sundus. Yeah, they're awesome. Those will be something that, if I could make more room to get more Timors, I would, because they're just a cool snake.
They're available. I see a few.
They
every
are,
time.
which is weird because now they've dropped down and back. They've come out of the stratosphere into normal territory. Where, like, I remember during the pandemic, they were like 2,500 for a wild caught baby, and I'm like, go to hell. And now I think Ryan has his wild caught. I'm sorry, Ryan has his captive born and breds for 15.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm like, that's not bad. That is not bad for an animal like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I guess if there's anything else you guys want to hit on, we can keep talking, or we're getting close to 2 hours. And I think that would be enough for a Carpets and Coffee episode for when the big man is not here.
The big man is here. The little man is unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, we all know who, I'm not the one they call the Podfather for a very good reason. So,
Alex, what do you got?
Oh, I was thinking about something maybe 10 minutes ago where I was joking about how like Lucas arrived at Woma's.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's funny, but that I thought about it as I was making the joke, and I was like, oh, when me and Lucas first worked at the vivarium, the middle aisle of the store, like the main centerpiece of the store, had like a whole bunch of Asphodelites. And I think that like John would talk shit to me and be like, hey, like you don't care about this species because it's around you. And like, it was because we're talking about Sanzinia, where I was like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I think like he would get Sanzinia every year from a friend, and I had one and I traded it away like an idiot.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Our Sanzinia Chronicle is a very sad affair.
Oh yeah.
I could have had a baby for like $300.
Yeah,
Holy
I got mine
shit.
for like 900 or something. It was fucking.
It was not a green, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've never seen a green, but if it was a green and I'd given it away, I'd probably just like.
that's it. Throw yourself off a bridge.
Like, all right, Lucas.
Yeah.
You want all this? $500. But yeah, he's totally right. Like, we first started. I didn't know shit. I don't know what I was looking at. Lucas and me are maintaining this aisle full of blackheads and Woma pythons. And my first impression of Womas was like, oh, cool. Reach in the tank to change his water. He steals your glove and then tries to bite you and then goes back to try and eat the glove. And that's a Woma python. They're orange and they're mean. Like, but
yeah,
we were so lucky to like.
So you were right.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, but still, like, to be exposed to that sort of thing off rip, it definitely made me take certain things for granted, but also probably led to why we find what we find cool, And,
right.
There's just a blackhead python that Lucas eventually bought for a ridiculously low price, and
oh, he's the best. Yeah,
it's just,
my first male from Doug Price's stock. He's behind me. He's doing great.
That's a good price animal.
Yep, 13 years old.
I didn't even know that.
And that's the plugs though, because it's like I still have my 2007 Coastal that I got as this tiny little hatchling that was way too young for me to buy at $75. Like, as in, like, looking at old pictures of her, I'm like, she doesn't even matter for a shed when I bought her. I'm like, that is a hatchling. Like, somebody tossed that in a bin and then allowed me to buy it, which was hideously inappropriate. Like, but I still have her, and it's like, that's the click, is like, that's the thing. And then you have certain animals that kind of come into your life, whether they're your friend's animal or something you see at a show or something you see on TV that just clicks it and then plugs it in, and that's what you want. Like, I was vaguely aware of rough scale pythons, but watching one light up Brian Barczyk in one of his videos, like, I was just like, whatever this thing is, that's awesome. Like, I'm like, I need to check this thing out. And then that was what clicked it over. And then there was some excitement about them coming in, and I need that. And then watching Chris Foley get chased around a room by a black-faced white lip when we were in college was hilarious. And I really wanted white lips after that. So
yeah,
it's all how it goes.
No, 100%. I mean, obviously between the diamonds and the other thing that Alex and I are working on is the Eastern Indigos. That's another one that just, there happened to be some insane, impressive specimen at EBV while we were there. And how are we not going to do that? They're the coolest snakes.
I'm going to Snake Show tomorrow, and I'm like, I'm getting to the point with my career in reptiles that I have some snake money to throw around if need be. So it's one of those like, hey, if I see something there I like, why not? This guy keeps bringing this adult, say sub-adult pair of children's pythons for like $400. $400 he wants for the pair.
Do it.
And I'm like, I don't need children's. I could do children's. I could easily do children's. I just got my spots. I got spots. Then I'm like, and it's like, that is the thing that is constantly churning in my head. I probably won't do it, but you have the opportunities to do these kinds of things because I can kind of trust myself a little bit more. You know, you learn as you go. And like Alex said earlier, you also unlearn some things or relearn some things in different ways. And you kind of feel like you can tackle a little bit more. So,
yeah, we're talking about all this stuff, like, and, you know, take me back 5 years because I've been doing reptiles for so long. But we're like, oh, like, I'd love to have an indigo someday. I'd love to like get some diamonds. Like, can't fathom spending $3,000 on a snake.
Yeah. And
here we are, like, we're trying. We have multiple. We're trying to put them together, and like, I think that this last month has been a very interesting month for me because I've been able to be like present and be like, wow, I have like a lot of animals that I never thought I'd see in person, let alone have a group of, and I have this awesome partner who knows it like the back of his hand, and he's going to help me figure out how to produce these maybe. And like, it's a trip to think that like 6 years ago at the vivarium, I was like, oh, diamond pythons, my dad used to work with those. Like, I want one of those. And then here we are 6 years later, and we have a group of them. Like, and
I don't know if if either of you
manifest destiny.
Yeah, I don't know if either of you guys have reached that pinnacle thing where it's like, this is a thing that I thought I would never get to see, and now I own it. And this is something that now eggs are hatching in front of me. It's like that next step of, I never thought this thing would be in my basement or in my possession, let alone I'd be producing them.
Yeah, I mean, the Western Blackheads had that effect for me.
Right. It's that next step. It's the next thing up there. So
I'm very green, so I think my experience with it is like, it happens at work, and maybe I had a hand in like getting the group going or maintaining it or whatever, but it's not like mine, you know?
Yeah.
I've bred much fewer animals than you guys have, but I think that the next few years for me is going to be really exciting because, one, I'm starting with like indigos and diamonds and
golden-tailed geckos
here, like
black boas.
I'm lucky. I had like, you know, it's called the vivarium, my training wheels, and I had to do my beardies and my ackies and my ball pythons and my corns, and And now with my own collection, like my friends, I can produce stuff that like never, like you said, never thought I'd have it in my apartment, let alone trying to
let alone be part of it.
Yeah. I mean, when you get your first litter of Lake Chapalas, I do think that it's going to be a really mind-blowing experience, and there's no going back.
But Alex is so adjacent to Lake Chapalas, I don't think he needs them.
I think he's talking about you.
Oh no, that cold day in hell, a cold day in hell when those crossed my threshold.
Oh no, we just got me a group of garter snakes a month or two ago, and I was so excited about it until it was a real thing. It was honestly such a nice gift, and then I had to take care of them for a few months, and I was like,
I don't think that. Yeah,
man, not everybody's cut out for this life.
No, fucking getting blackhead started and feeding 60 garter snakes at a time is not.
Just wait till I get Antaresia.
I'm going to the farmer's market tomorrow because I'm out of frog legs. So if you get Antaresia, just stock up. Yep.
Well, you know what I did is I filled a box from Cold Blooded Cafe, proud supporters of this program. Use code MPR20 at checkout. Get 20% off your order. If you've used our previous codes, this one will still work. Everything's reset, and it stacks on top of any existing deals on the website. You could be getting small rats for like 40% off right now if you use our code.
And one time only, so you can use it for your first purchase. One time only. If you use it before, you can use it again. So once you use it, done.
The more things that you put in the basket for that one times, the more money you save.
Yes,
because that's how percentages work.
Use it wisely.
And they have a new code now for free shipping. It's FS250, and that gets you free shipping off of anything over $250 order.
Very nice. And they also don't just offer rodents, and that's how I got here, is because with Antaresia in mind, you know what I added to my box?
Bird.
Day-old quail.
Yep.
And house geckos now available.
Yeah. House geckos.
Frozen house geckos.
Frozen house geckos.
Let's go.
You get those?
Oh, I got a pack.
Yeah.
What do you need those for?
That's the fuck of it. I don't even know.
It's in the freezer.
But it's gonna happen eventually.
Who's gonna be the one to do the feeder snake? Since we can say anything on here.
I mean, I've done it. I just...
What species is the feeder snake?
That's
part of
it.
I mean, it's gonna be it should be small, because let's put it this way. I have sent boxes of snakes that have passed to friends that I have that have snake eating cobras. So that's happened. So I have supplied snake feeders to other people. But I think it would need to be a small species, because
wasn't Dr. DiNardo just telling us the other day that he can breed an insane amount of children's pythons?
Oh my God,
trying very hard.
You would do that? You would turn children's pythons into feeders?
I mean, if it's something that eats children's pythons, hell yeah.
I mean, all right, yeah.
But then again, I wrote a whole essay for grad school about why I wasn't mad about the zoo that like released the dying giraffe to the lions. Like, so, you know, maybe I'm a little biased.
They didn't release, it wasn't a dying giraffe. Didn't they kill the giraffe and then put it in there?
Yeah, he's probably dead already.
Yeah, they didn't just take him. They didn't take the elderly giraffe and lead him into the lion habitat.
Shit eats shit. And that's fine. Everything's fine.
Come here, buddy. Let's go. It's goodbye. Good luck.
I still would have defended that.
I still would have been all right with that. I think they would potentially maybe get a feeder snake, and I think it would have to be like a garter snake or something that produces in mass quantity.
Don't house snakes, can't they breed like every 2 months or something?
Yeah, I guess maybe house snake too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that.
I mean, for all I know, it could be a corn snake, because you can get double clutches out of corn snakes, and they can, even a small female can drop 20 eggs.
I think that's why it's probably not a thing, is that you're just creating a market where people are trying to double clutch, triple clutch animals, and then that
right. And
great, you know.
and the
There
problem is
are
people seem
welfare
to
concerns.
people tend to also take offense when you're like, well, this morph is now so low that it's going to become a feeder. Like I remember seeing feeder ball pythons is that people would produce all the ball pythons and they'd have the normals and they would put them in a container for like $10 feeders, baby ball pythons for that's for cobras and other things like that. So
I mean, as bad as it sounds, I've worked at a pet store, so I definitely have seen the not so savory side of this hobby. And
right.
If I were a ball python and I could choose in between being some kid's first pet and a sandy terrarium, or fed to
Or death.
Indigo once, I'd probably duke it out with Indigo. The Vita Sand doesn't sound that inviting.
The slow, agonizing death via Vita Sand
instead of just
versus
being
a quick
65
death.
degrees for 10 years.
Oh my
You
God.
know, and like the shit. I know you've been doing this a long time. The shit me and Lucas have heard over the counter is like, I can't get them to eat. Like, okay, what have you been trying? They're like, all right, well, like we tried the Campbell's, and then we're like, wait, hold on, pause there. Campbell's.
Campbell.
Dude, the chicken noodle soup. I'm like, so the ball python has a bowl of soup.
Are you kidding me?
No, this is a real scenario that I've experienced, and it was
not scenting something with Campbell's soup. They put a cup of soup in with the snake.
The ball python was not. It was a picky eater though, so I think that if someone else had it, probably could have gotten it on Campbell's, but this woman, I don't think she had the temps right or something, and.
I have heard of some people trying to feed their lizards monitors a vegan-esque diet with not true meat, and then wondering why it's like hips don't work. So I've heard that.
Oh my God.
I had a professor from my old college have one of her students contact me for an interview. And the interview seemed like it was, can we find an alternative food source for reptiles? To which I blew him away when I said no. And he's like, well, what about processed sausage? I'm like, the animal still has to die. I'm like, even if you want to process it, like even if you don't want to process rodent, something still has to die.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like there's a chain, even if you kill a worm, something dies to feed the carnivore.
That will always be true until we get lab-grown chicken and then go to lab-grown full-size large rats.
Jesus Christ.
Impossible rodents.
Impossible. Holy crap, there's a whole market we can corner that we haven't even thought of yet.
Oh, the way to market it as welfare is
oh my God.
Impossible rodents, that's $1 million idea.
Yeah, it is right there. Yeah.
Everybody listening.
Lab grown rodent sausage.
Stephen Cush, get on it.
Stephen Cush. Why Stephen Cush?
Meatless feeder rat.
I don't know. Stephen, if you're listening, I want in.
Yeah, I want in on the ground floor of this.
All right.
Very
good.
We're at the 2-hour thing, so I guess we'll close it up. Lucas, is there anything else you wanted to add or anything else you needed to throw out there?
I do not believe so. Of course, again, cold-blooded caffeine. Definitely get your coffee fix. Cold-blooded cafe. We mentioned the code. Get on that. Check out the Patreon, Teespring store. The other shows on the network, of course. I think that's about it. Oh, Discord. We have a Discord. If you need the link for the Discord, get in touch with any of us. We'll get you in there. A lot of good conversation. And Eric will be back next time.
Yes, Eric will be back next week. We will have another episode of NPR. We have to talk with him about his trip and see what he's found. And we'll go from there, I guess. Alex, is there anything you wanted to toss out there for the people? Anything they needed to know? If anybody wants to contact you for a cage or anything like that?
Yeah, check us out at Indigo Vivaria on Instagram. We We have a few people on our wait list. I'm excited to say, there's like a 3 or 4 or 5 person wait list. But if you want anything custom or a nice centerpiece cage in your house, let us know. We can try and help facilitate that. Check us out on Morph Market, Centralian Exotics. And,
That's me.
That's me.
But this is fun. I see why you guys do this.
Yeah. Well, we do this whenever we shouldn't be. Yeah. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us and introducing yourself to the people.
Yeah. So, and for me, Rogue-Reptiles, I'm going to be updating the website pretty soon, but there's a bunch of stuff up there currently. And if you're going to be at the Oaks Reptile Show tomorrow, I may see you, but I'm just going to be swinging in. So I may not, but there you go. So that's it for us tonight. Thanks, everyone. We will catch everybody, I guess, in 2 weeks when we do another Carpets and Coffee. Enjoy. Have a good weekend.